The brightest star in Avonlea. When Matthew Cuthbert arrived at the train station, he expected a boy to help him on the farm. Instead, he found an 11-year-old girl with flaming red braids and eyes that saw the world in dazzling, imaginary colors. Her name was Anne Shirley, and she had a vivid imagination that filled the quiet space between her and kind, shy Matthew. At Green Gables, Matthew's stern, practical sister, Marilla, insisted there had been a mistake. She wanted to send Anne back, but Anne's dreams were too big for a tiny orphan asylum. She gazed out at the blooming cherry trees, not seeing blossoms, but the Snow Queen's palace, and her heartfelt way of seeing beauty slowly chipped away at Marilla's sensible shell. Life at Green Gables was never dull. Anne's quick wit and dramatic flair led to comical misadventures, from serving her best friend Diana currant wine instead of raspberry cordial, to accidentally dyeing her beautiful red hair an alarming permanent shade of green, which led to an outburst of comedic despair. Anne's grand new stage was the Avonlea schoolhouse, where she met the bright, handsome, and maddeningly popular Gilbert Blythe. When Gilbert dared to tease her about her hair and called her carrots, Anne exploded. She smashed her slate over his head and declared him her enemy, refusing to speak to him for years, even when he tried to apologize. The rivalry fueled Anne's ambition. She studied with fierce determination, her imagination now channeled into her books. She rose to the top of her class, matching Gilbert's grades achievement for achievement, transforming her passion for storytelling into a hunger for knowledge, winning the coveted Queen's Academy scholarship. Just as Anne was preparing for her university studies, tragedy struck. Kind Matthew died suddenly, and shortly after, an investment failed, sweeping away Marilla's and Anne's savings. The bright future Anne had planned vanished like mist. Though she had a scholarship, Anne could not leave Marilla alone to run the farm. "Green Gables is where I belong," she told a tearful Marilla. Anne sacrificed her dream of college to stay, resolving to take a small teaching position at a distant school so she could be close by to care for the only true home she had ever known. But Anne never had to go. Gilbert Blythe, who had won the coveted teaching position in the local Avonlea school, learned of Anne's predicament. In a quiet, selfless act of kindness, he gave up his post. Gilbert instead took the difficult, lower-paying position at the White Sands School, ensuring the Avonlea spot was open for Anne. When Marilla told Anne what Gilbert had done, the long-held fury in Anne's heart finally dissolved into gratitude and respect. Anne took the Avonlea position, beginning her life as a teacher, finally stepping into a future she loved, right there, under the roof of Green Gables. One evening, Anne and Gilbert met on the path they called Lover's Lane. They were no longer rivals, but friends. Looking out over the soft, familiar hills of Avonlea, they realized their path, like the lane, had truly just begun, walking forward side by side toward a future they would build together.